In 2016, Erdogan cited Hitler's government as a model for the enhanced powers that he is seeking in Turkey's upcoming referendum. But Erdogan's recent comments, comparing the Dutch and the Germans to Nazis, weren't meant to be complimentary. He made the remarks after Turkey's foreign minister was banned from addressing Turkish expatriates in their countries. Erdogan wants them to vote yes in April's referendum. The Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte called Erdogan's rhetoric unacceptable. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said the comments were unjustifiable, saying they trivialized victims of the Nazis. But some analysts say his remarks were meant to shock.
We need to put then this into context, which is the rise of far-right movements, parties all around Europe. In this context, the warnings from Turkish leadership should be understood in this way.
Ahead of next month's constitutional referendum here in Turkey, there is widespread debate on whether to establish a presidential system. This would abolish the office of Prime Minister and grant Erdogan sweeping new powers. And the recent clashes between Dutch riot police and Erdogan supporters in Rotterdam seems to have gained him some favor back home.
We agree with him. Europe is calling for freedom, but we saw what they did. They used dogs and horses against the people, against the press.
After seeing their attitudes, I felt what Erdogan said was right. I talked to a few friends who were thinking of voting no, but after this, they say they will now vote yes.
While Erdogan's harsh rhetoric could be playing well into the hands of voters here in Turkey, the Dutch are holding general elections on Wednesday, and a hard stance against Turkey could bode well for the current prime minister.
The mainstream parties are really in panic, and they cannot stop the rise of far-right parties. And what they are doing is just to adopt the rhetoric and discourse of these parties.
The Netherlands says it wants to diffuse the tensions. However, Ankara blamed the Dutch for breaching a Vienna Convention by barring a Turkish minister from the Turkish consulate and is likely to file a complaint with the United Nations, the Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe, and the Council of Europe, all of which threatens the sensitive 2016 refugee deal between Turkey and the EU, as well as any Turkish accession into the bloc. Natalie Carney for CGTN in Istanbul, Turkey.